Alrighty, get ready for the adaptation of Stephen King's most terrifying book about a killer clown that lives in the sewer eating children. Wait, wasn't there one of those made for TV back in the 90s? Come on, nobody counts that one. Although Tim Curry is the GOAT. It, Chapter 1. Welcome to Derry. Not to be mistaken with that show that's coming out in a couple of months. It is a quaint little town in Maine that just so happens to be the staging area for a series of gruesome tragedies, deaths, and disappearance that apparently nobody noticed until a fat kid from out of town decided to do a book report. Derry is also the home of a group of misfit prepubescents called the Losers Clubs, which, I mean, if you know you're going to be bullied, you might as well embrace it, right? These middle school nerds will be faced with a timeless horror clown. I mean, technically it's a formless alien eldritch horror that takes whatever it needs to entice, trick, or frighten its victims, but come on, man, clowns. Alright, let's get straight to it. I really like this movie, and technically it's sequel 2 because of that, but we'll get to that Saturday. Now, there were changes made from the book, and I guess the Tim Curry version, but, I mean, it's absolutely necessary for the success of both movies. Like, let's break it down for a little bit. So, the first change, and probably the most impactful, is a linear timeline. So, in the book, and the TV version, which I'm going to stop talking about, I swear, it's all about the narrative jumping back and forth between the children and the adult timeline. Now, in the book, that's fine, I guess, but when it comes to watching the original Tim Curry version, which scared the crap out of me as a kid, I mean, come on. First kid that dies is named Georgie. Anyway, while watching this version, I lose all of my fears for the children. I mean, we know for a fact that these kids live to see adulthood, so why should we be scared? I mean, yeah, they might get scared and traumatized, boo-hoo, PTSD, get it. But we know they survive. In this version, by making it a linear timeline, I mean, if you didn't know, like general audiences that haven't read the book or watched the old one, yeah, they're absolutely going to be scaring and fearing for these children's lives. I mean, these characters are genuinely likable, and you root for them pretty much the entire time since their introduction. Next big change the movie does is they move the timeline up from the 50s to the 80s, and that makes sense. So when the book came out, you know, the 50s would have been relatable for adults at the time. And now that the new thing comes out, ironically 27 years afterwards, it's relatable for the 80s to be something that most audiences will be familiar with. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Nostalgia's cool, and it sells tickets. And then, of course, the very last thing that's changed is the fact that there is no, underage child orgy. Which, just rule of thumb, don't advocate for children orgies in your books, films, movies, whatever. It's not a good look. We don't need another cuties on our hand. But other than that, this movie is fantastic. Like, all of the characters, all of the little kids and whatnot. I mean, little maybe a relative terms. They're all like in their teen years, but you know what I mean. They do a fantastic job. They're likable. They're unique. They're distinctive in like everything they do, and I love it. I really cared about pretty much all the characters. Like, there were maybe one or two that are kind of annoying, but we all had that friend in our friend group that were like, "Oh God, Todd, why the hell are you here?" But so it's fine that one or two of them might kind of get on your nerves every once in a while, and also the kids. It's expected. But I adore these characters, and I'm genuinely rooting for them the entire time. Also, although he's not Tim Curry, let's face it. Skarsgård, playing Pennywise, he is so terrifying. That smile, that goddamn smile, is just the thing of nightmares. I mean, kudos to him. He does an amazing job. Please stop doing that, sir. I don't want it. Please, no. Okay, I need an adult. Nope, not like that. Anyway, but no, this movie is fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. Unfortunately, and I'll get to this again Saturday when we review Chapter 2, I do think that the first movie is a little better than the second. The second's good, and some of the scares are more psychological and whatever, but I'm sorry, man, it's just more daunting for children to be going up against this eldritch horror nightmare than adults that, why didn't you just buy a gun? This is America. You can do that. When they actually get to fighting him in the sewers as children, I'm like, how the hell are they going to defend themselves against this? But when they're doing it as adults in the next movie, I don't quite have that, well, how are they possibly going to stop him? Easily, they're adults. So if you do want to stream this movie, it is available on Netflix, on Max, on Prime Video, on basically everything right now. So it should be easy to get your hands on as far as streaming is concerned. If you want to see it, a physical copy, I think I've seen it in Walmart a couple of times, but it's more something you would see during Halloween, which, you know, it's understandable. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know how I'm doing. And tell me what movie you'd like me to review in the future. I actually have a couple of movies saved up that particular somebody was like, hey, review these things. So Thursday, or probably Friday, we'll be reviewing the original 1956 version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers by request. So you can see how much I enjoyed this black and white movie, which I did, actually. But you'll see. You'll see exactly all of the gritty details of my interests. But until then, make sure you check up on your friends, your family, make sure everybody's doing all right, and we'll see you at the movies. Take care, guys. Bye.